3/4 of the Democrats in the House of Representatives have now signed on to articles of impeachment against Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. Now, Republicans, of course, who still hold a very slim majority in the House of Representatives, not exactly on board with it. And that's a shame, not just because Kristi Noem is horrible at her job and people are getting killed because of how horrible she is, but because Republicans need to understand you got to pay attention to the polling data. And right now, the polling data is telling us that a majority of Americans are in favor of impeaching and removing Kristi Noem. They hate her. They think she sucks at her job. And they, the public, the people that have to go and vote in November, Republicans, they want her out of office. So if for no other reason than doing something that the public actually agrees with, Republicans in the House of Representatives and, of course, in the Senate would be well positioned to take the lead on this and get her out of office like the public wants. Here's the latest numbers. A new survey by Data for Progress found that a majority of participants believe Noem should be impeached as a result of her handling of the Minneapolis shootings. 52% of participants think she should be impeached, 36% do not, and 12% do not know. How do you not know? Like, that's what I don't get. If you support what Kristi Noem is doing, you're wrong, but I understand why you love what she's doing. But how do you not know? How do you look at what's happening and say, I can't form an opinion? It's those folks. It's those people, the undecideds, right? Not just in polls, which I do talk about that a lot, how you get a good percentage of people like, well, I don't know. I don't have an opinion. Those are the idiots, by the way, who end up deciding elections. The people who do not pay attention to shit. They don't know a damn thing about what's actually happening. And those are the so-called swing voters, the people who any given day like, well, now I think this. Oh, but today I'm going to think this. Tomorrow I'm going to be back to thinking something over here. For the love of God, educate yourselves, or, this may sound a little shocking, stop voting. Right? Do we really want all of our elections to come down to these so-called undecided people who don't pay attention to anything? No. Those are people making ill-informed or, in most cases, completely uninformed decisions that impact 340 million people. That's not a good system, folks. But that is the system that we have. Now, I know that's a little bit of an aside here, but I think it's important. You got 12% of the country that doesn't know if Kristi Noem should or should not be impeached, which means 12% of those people have not been paying a bit of attention to anything. That's dangerous for this country. And that's, of course, why these things happen. Because these idiots don't pay attention. Now, I get it. Look, I am deeply involved in politics and news and all of that, obviously, because it's part of my job and it's, what I went to college for, and it's what I've done my entire adult life. I enjoy it. And I get that you don't. I get that it's not your job. I'm not blaming you for that. What I am saying is, for the love of God, every now and then, pick up a newspaper. Go to a news website that doesn't lean to the right. You don't even have to go to one that leans to the left, but literally any regular news site and read. I don't know. May just change your outlook on literally everything by being the tiniest bit informed. The poll gets worse, however, for Kristi Noem. The survey also found that Noem has a net minus 13 favorability rating. 27% view her favorably, 40% unfavorably, and 33% said they, quote, haven't heard enough to say. A third of the country doesn't know enough about Kristi Noem to have an opinion on whether or not she's doing a good job. That's the kind of stat that almost gives me an instant migraine, thinking that we have a third of the damn country that's just not paying attention to anything. Thanks for watching, and if you are not already subscribed to the channel, please do so, and do not forget to like and comment and share widely among your friends.